Hey y'all, I'm Sophia Field, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about Japanese games, Japanese arcades, and where you can play them here. So, when you first think of an arcade, you might think back to when you went to Chuck E. Cheese as a little kid, or when you go to Dave and Buster's now, or even the few games you can play at Ultrazone while waiting for your turn to play laser tag. But if you're anything like me, you automatically think of all the times you failed at DDR or Dance Dance Revolution. But if you think of any of the arcades you've gone to here in the US are impressive, wait until you see what Japanese arcades are like. So the games in Japanese arcades range from claw machines that we all know and love to high-speed rhythm games, tons of different types of games. So the claw machines are usually found right when you enter, and they have different prizes like stuffed animals, anime figurines, candy, kitchenware, and so many more. There's also apps you can use here in the US where if you do the claw machine on the app and you win the prize, you can ship it to your house, which seems pretty cool to me, but I haven't tried it. Next up, we have rhythm games, which are hands down my favorite. There's My, which is a newer game, but loads of fun. Poppin' Music, which is a pretty old game that came out in 1998, but the good news is it's still being updated with new music and stuff. Very good if you're a beginner just wanting to try out. There's Taiko Drum Master, which uses an actual instrument and drumsticks. Tons of fun from what I've seen. Jubeat, which is definitely my favorite rhythm game I've tried. And it's like whack-a-mole, but with music, and it can be really fast. Tons of fun. Project Diva, which, if you know Hatsune Miku and like Vocaloids, you already know that game. And there's so many others. Oh, and like any arcade in the US, there's fighting games, racing games, shooting games. What I find extremely cool is that you can play Mario Kart at the arcade. There's also dance games, which kind of like Just Dance, but you'll see. There's the classic DDR, which you can find here in the US, which you have probably played if you've gone to an arcade. There's Pump It Up, which just had their 20th anniversary last year. It's like a more modern version of DDR. You've got like K-pop songs in there. You've got J-pop in there. Tons of stuff. Loads of fun. Dance Evolution, which is similar to Just Dance, but a little fancier, and you play it in an arcade instead of at home with your friends. And lastly, there's Dance Rush Stardom, which looks like a ton of fun, but I've always been too intimidated to play because some people are so good at it. So here comes the rough part about all of this, and that's where can you play these without making the trip to Japan? So the good news is you can find a lot of these games at conventions like here in Virginia or DC, Maryland, nowhere too far. The best one I've found so far is Magfest, which is a gaming and music convention that's held at National Harbor in Maryland. They have pretty much all the rhythm games I mentioned, all the dance games I mentioned, a lot of racing and shooting games, and they also have a ton of pinball games if you like pinball. So I highly recommend that. If you don't want to go out to the National Harbor, there's one in DC called Anime USA, which also has a really good collection of Japanese games. Last but not least, if you have a Switch, you can play both Project Diva and Taiko Drum Master. They're a little expensive, but if you wait for the right time when they're on sale, I highly recommend getting them. Tons of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning about different arcades and games you can play in Japan. And hopefully you'll be able to play some of these after quarantine is over, either at a convention or on your trip to Japan if you get to go. Hope you all have a great day, and peace out.